Titanic, the unsinkable ship that met a tragic end in 1912, is known for its luxurious amenities and impressive engineering. However, what's often overlooked is the poor hygiene on board that led to the spread of diseases and ultimately contributed to the death toll. From overflowing toilets to contaminated drinking water, in this video, we will take you through some of the most disgusting hygiene practices on Titanic. Prepare yourself for a shocking revelation. The Titanic was one of the most luxurious ships of its time. It had a grand staircase, a swimming pool, and an onboard gym. The first-class passengers were treated to the finest food and wine, but below decks, the conditions were horrific. The third-class passengers were cramped into tiny, dirty cabins. There was only one toilet for all of them to share, and the food was terrible. The water was often contaminated with sewage. It's no wonder that so many people got sick on the Titanic. The Titanic was not just big and luxurious, it was also one of the filthiest ships of its time. The bathrooms were dirty and smelly, the floors were often covered in garbage, and the food was often spoiled. Even the drinking water was contaminated with sewage. In addition, the Titanic was overcrowded and poorly ventilated, making many of its passengers sick. It was also reported that the crew members were often unhygienic and careless with their cleaning duties. All in all, it is safe to say that the Titanic was a far cry from the luxury liner it was advertised to be. The conditions on board the Titanic were unsanitary and dangerous. There was no fresh water for passengers to wash in, and the food was often spoiled. The toilets were overflowing, and there was garbage everywhere. The ship was overcrowded, and there was little ventilation, so it was often hot and stuffy. The crew was also overworked and underpaid, leading to poor conditions for the employees. Many of the lifeboats were also dangerously overcrowded, and not all of them had enough life jackets for everyone. The ship itself was not equipped with enough lifeboats to hold everyone in case of an emergency. When the Titanic set sail, the crew was not properly trained in hygiene. This lack of training led to some gross and unsanitary conditions on the ship. The bathrooms were not properly cleaned, and there was garbage and food waste left all over the ship. These conditions led to the spread of disease on board the Titanic. Passengers complained about the bad smells and the filth, but nothing was done to improve the situation. By the time the Titanic hit an iceberg and sank, many passengers were already sick due to poor hygiene on board. The unhygienic conditions on the Titanic put passengers at risk of contracting diseases. There was little to no sanitation on the ship, and waste was simply thrown overboard. This created a breeding ground for bacteria and viruses, which passengers were exposed to on a daily basis. There was also a lack of clean water on board the Titanic. This meant that people were drinking contaminated water, which further increased the risk of contracting diseases. With so many people living in such close quarters, it's no wonder that illnesses spread quickly on board the ship. In addition to the unsanitary conditions and lack of clean water, the food on the Titanic was also often contaminated. Meals were prepared in dirty kitchens and served to passengers who had no way of knowing if they were eating safe food or not. All of these factors combined created a perfect storm for the spread of disease on board the Titanic. Passengers were constantly exposed to bacteria and viruses and had no way to protect themselves from becoming sick. The conditions on the ship were absolutely disgusting, and it's no wonder that so many people became ill during the voyage. It is clear from the evidence presented in this video that hygiene on board the Titanic was far from ideal. The combination of overcrowding, poor sanitation, and inadequate water supplies provided a breeding ground for germs and diseases to spread quickly throughout the passengers and crew. Even today, it serves as a stark reminder of how important proper hygiene practices are in order to prevent unnecessary suffering and death due to preventable diseases. We must take these lessons learned from the Titanic disaster seriously if we want to protect ourselves against similar conditions in our own lives. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more great content. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload from us.